Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. I would like to make sure that you can see my screen and hear me. If anyone can please raise your hand to let me know. Thank you so much. I can see the hands now. And thank you again for joining today's webinar. And I will walk you through the HPD Public Repository and some of the updates that were implemented with the version of HPD Open Standard released in September 2025. I am Mijali Marcano, Technical Manager at HPDC, and just to bring any new people to what the HPD repository is part of the Material Health Tool Suite from the HPD Collaborative. The tool suite is made of different elements, which started with the HPD Open Standard, the guidelines for manufacturers for reporting and creating HPDs, the HPD Builder, which is the software the manufacturer used to create the health product declarations and publish them, HPD PreCheck, which is an automated check against other programs in the industry, leveraging HPD data. And the HPD repository is the home of all published HPDs. And the HPD data partners refer to our APIs, which is our capability for sharing HPD data across the material health ecosystem with other databases that serve the architecture and design industry in the US and the world. So what I'm going to show you today is the new version of the HPD repository. We have two interfaces for the repository. One is free access, and it's what we call, it's like a quick search for HPDs. And then we have the HPD dashboards that are available to all HPDC members and that have more enhanced capability and include data that comes from the pre-check, which I'm going to mention and walk you through, and other filtering options that are more advanced than the regular repo. So the HPD dashboards have customized filters. Currently, we have two dashboards available, the HPDC, which is available to everyone, and also Bora architects worked with us to design their own dashboard and their own applying their own material health criteria. I'm also going to show you that one. And we have other dashboards that we have developed that are internal to organizations that are not publicly available. So I will walk you through what it will take for an organization to benefit from creating their own dashboard. But what we can do is to use the data from HPDs, which is digitally available, every field in the HPD, to create customized filters, data visualization options. We can also authenticate users automatically that are a member of your organizations. There are download queues, which is the option for creating folders of HPD so that you can download them all together. And then there is an option for contacting manufacturers directly to provide feedback on HPDs or to request updated HPDs. The access to the HPD dashboards is based on the membership, and general and affiliate memberships should all have access to the dashboards. If your organization is a member of HPDC and you don't have access to the dashboards, you can reach out to support, to me, and we will fix the access, because every member of HPDC should definitely be able to access the dashboards. We also created recently another option for membership, which is not corporate, it's an individual practitioner, which is just at $125 per year. And with this option, you will also benefit from the HPD dashboards. So as mentioned, and I was showing the demo, there are options for any architect or firm that would like to have their own dashboard to work with HPDC and set up their own. I will show you the case of Bora, the detailed filtering that we were able to implement. And what we will need from you is the information about the organization, what are the HPD fields that are relevant to your material ingredients criteria, and any chemical list that you would like to assess. And this can be either the lists that are already reported in HPDs, or it can be any red list. If your organization has decided that there are certain chemicals that you would like to avoid when specifying products in projects, then we can certainly implement that and scan HPDs and determine whether an HPD is free of these chemicals or not. And we'll see that in the demo with more examples. So if you're interested after this demo on working with HPDC to create your own dashboard, you can contact us. We will talk a little bit about what is your material health program or the guidelines that you have in your organization, and then work with you to define the ideal filtering. We will design it, and then you will get to test it so that we can release it. And as I mentioned earlier, there is the option to have a public dashboard like Bora did, or just have a private dashboard for internal use that does not have to be shared with the rest of the community. Yes, super. Okay, so this is the public repository. This is the simple search. So you can type fabric, and then you can find the HPDs without a login. You can download them. You just need to provide your email just to protect us from spam downloads. And you can search, as I said, by CSI division, section, manufacturer name, product name, HPD version. And now recently we added the pre-check for LibV5. There are two options, Human Health 1 and Human Health 2. These are the very same requirements as for V4.1. The only difference is that now it is required that the manufacturer select a product type. And this is to support the GBCI team to better categorize products when they are reviewing the documentation for lead. Let's see how many products have checked for lead v5. So far, we have 25 products. This was just added last week. So we're excited to see this product, these HPDs being published. You may also filter by the type of inventory, basic or nested, and also select HPDs that have been third-party verified. From here, users that are a member of HPDC can access the HPD dashboards. You just need to click, you can access directly either the HPDC dashboard or the Bora dashboard. And we're going to go to the HPDC first, then also open the Bora. First thing you will see are totals. So because not all historical HPDs are included in the dashboard, only those version 2.2, 2.3, and 3.0. But these versions make up almost 12,000 HPDs from 1,000 manufacturers, out of which 500 HPDs are third-party verified. And we have the totals for LEED v4.1 so far, which means that these products are aligned with the requirements for these credits. And then you have the filtering options that you can combine. And within each filter, you can search by word. So you can type and search so that you can look for the product name here, or you can select the product. You can combine this filtering with manufacturer name, CSI division, CSI section, the version of HPD, the option for whether it's third-party verified or prepared by an approved preparer, if it's self-prepare. We have detailed filter for the inventory and threshold, so 100 or 1,000 ppm, and whether it was per basic or nested. We also have the options for characterized, screen, and identified. This can help you find HPDs that have disclosed all chemicals. For example, those that are identified means that all chemicals have been made public. Screen means that all contents were assessed against the hazard list and following the standard requirements. And you may also search for specific green screen scores present in the HPD, or if you want to avoid some of the high concern chemicals, you can just select the other scores and leave um, the ones that you will not want to see in the HPDs out. We have the HPD pre-check, and right now there are the lead pre-checks and also the pre-check for the Parkinson Wheel precautionary list, as well as the pre-checks for BORA, Green Seal, which is a paint standard, and reset a building, a green building rating system. So it's a combination of programs, but also like rating systems, but also other programs that are in the same ecosystem as the HPD Open Standard. We will talk about the pre-check more in detail with the BORA dashboard. We recently added the VOC emissions filter, and this is using the information reported in HPDs in the compliance section. So we only added these certifications because are the ones that are more that have more representation in the HPD data and that the data is cleaner also. So we were able to pretty much read through the 12,000 HPDs and determine those HPDs that have reported, that have done testing against the CDPH standard, that have any of these indoor quality certifications. And we have also an additional listings filter, which is to determine whether the product is free of GSPI 6 classes, the Living Building Channel red list, and the precautionary list as well. So once you filter, these results are displayed in a table. Some totals are in the graphics, so you can see the distribution of the data, but you will see the results in a table with detailed information on the fields that are kind of the metadata of the HPD, a link to open the HPD in a digital format, as well as the PDF for download, just by clicking in these two links. And you can also see the other details, such as the version, the threshold, the expiry date. You can sort by this information and also the alignment with the pre-checks and the different additional listings. You may also see the information about the preparer or the verifier when the HPD has been prepared or verified. Then down you have the download queues, and this is where you can create project folders. So let's say you already found the HPDs that you would like to specify in your product. You can select them, and you can select multiple at the same time, and then select your project and add to the project. And once you have added all the HPDs, you can click download queue, select the project folder, and you will be able to download all the PDF at the same time. This takes a little bit, but that's pretty much what happens. So a folder will be downloaded with the PDF of the selected HPDs. So let's go to BORA dashboard. So BORA worked with us and specify what the criteria for their chemical of concern was or is. And this is an effort that BORA is making to reduce the use of products with these chemicals. And there are all these chemical groups. I'm going to make it a little bigger so that you can see it. And they gave us this chemical list and we configured this filter so that Bora professionals can come. Actually, not just Bora professional, anyone that has access to the builder because to the repo because they made it public can filter HPDs by the free of any of these chemicals list. So you can now use these to search, for example, PFAS free products, or you can combine that with other, or let's say you want asbestos free and bisphenol free flame retardants, or let's say you also want to be specific that you don't want flame retardants in furnishing products. So you may combine the flame retardants with the 12 um, furnishings of CSI division and just get those um, forensic products that are free of flame retardants. Now, this is, of course, based on HPD data, and how we evaluate it is because this data is digitally available, meaning that we have every single field available for converting it into a filter. So we basically our tool is reading the cast numbers reported in identified HPD, so they have disclosed all the information, and mapping the cast numbers to determine whether any of the substances in the HPD is in one of these lists. And only if none of the content is present and all the content has been disclosed, can we include these documents under the flame retardants free list, and so under the others free list. Bora also had developed a pre-check, which is kind of the criteria for grouping these products based on the alignment with their chemical of concern and other criteria. So they have 3 levels: optimized, preferred, and required. And here you can see the totals that are aligned with this criteria. So for optimized, it's 100 ppm and they are free of any of these chemical lists. So basically free of everything here. And then prefer and require more about transparency. So it requires 100 or 1000 ppm in the case of prefer, as long as everything is green, identify, and characterize. And so you can filter by this criteria and determine the HPDs that are aligned with these requirements. So if you decide, you can use both dashboards and feed your project folders. Let's say you use HPDC filters for some of the search that you had to do, and then you could benefit from Bora's filtering for finding your furniture products. Then you can select the products here and we'll have access to the project folders and just feed them from both of the dashboards. If you notice that an HPD is expired or that it has a mistake or maybe you have questions, you can select your product and then contact the manufacturer automatically. Here, you can just select the name of the manufacturer, and you may even indicate the stage of product specification you're in if you would like to share that, but you can just write here the message and let them know directly, and an email will be sent to the manufacturer from the HPD repository. I'm going to pause. This is the end of the demo, and open up the chat for any questions or comments.